Hey YouTube. So I'm going to show you my, I guess, next current mini project I'm working with. What I decided to do, I guess based on sort of peer pressure, seeing some of the videos some of you have shown, is starting pineapple. I bought the fruit at the grocery store, and you pull the end off and everything. So that's what I've decided to try. I don't really honestly know what I'm going to do with it in the end. I'm not sure if I have the space or the patience to wait 3 years to grow a pineapple, but you never know, maybe, or I'll give it away as a nice houseplant gift, something like that. Yeah, here's what I started. I started this just over 2 weeks ago. It's in a water glass. Actually, I'm going to put that in the dishwasher when I'm done. Yeah, so I just pulled the end stalk off like this. Takes a little bit of encouraging, but it works eventually. And so this is what you pull out. Take this closer, and you can see this just after probably just a little over 2 weeks. It's got some significant roots. When I first pulled it off the fruit, what I did basically is just pulled back these leaves all the way around. I also took a little paring knife and cut the more of the nub. There was a little bit of sort of the fruit core there. My concern with that, I have a lot of experience making like wine and things like that. Anytime you have anything like a sugary fruit in water, it's like bad news. Well, it depends what your goal is. If you want to make wine, it's good, but if you're trying to grow something, you don't want to be growing it basically in a fermenting mixture. So I cut the part of the nub off further back. I put it in water. I did change the water about every day or so, just so that the glucose wouldn't build up and I'd end up with a big fermented mess. Yeah, so at the very beginning, within days, it was showing little shoots like this. And then I went out of town. I had to go out of town on a work thing, and then had a little mini vacation. And when I came back, this is like all of a sudden, this is what I saw. So kind of like shocking, but pretty cool. So my goal now is just to plant this in soil. I think the roots should be plenty to keep it going. I prepared this pot. It's a clay pot with some soil. Now, one thing, it's winter now. You don't want to be taking soil from your cold garage or outside and just put a plant in. That's a recipe for disaster, because you'll shock the plant because it'll be really cold soil. You might as well be just planting it outside in the winter. I had this soil in my basement. It was a fairly dry soil. I started hydrating it a couple hours ago, and it seems not too bad. I think it's good enough for planting, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to dig a little hole. I can see that some of the soil down there is sort of semi-dry. That's one thing to keep in mind when you store soil. Try to keep the bag fully sealed to keep it moist. This bag that I got this from, somehow it wasn't fully sealed, that's all I'll say. So I'm going to add a little bit of water, just keep it wet where I'm going to plant this. This is a fairly well draining soil, which is definitely a plus. I probably also didn't have to use a pot this big, but it's, you know, like everybody else, it's what you have in the moment, and that's what you end up using quite often. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to mix the soil up a little bit. Get my hands kind of muddy, but that's okay. I'm going to plant this down. Now, I've never really done this before with the pineapple, obviously, so I'm just going to sort of guess. I think if you use common sense, usually things will work when it comes to gardening. Now, the thing here, it's just the middle's kind of loose. I'm going to bury the soil sort of up to it, more to keep it in place than anything. It seems that these things are just full of potential roots inside ready to shoot out, so I'm not too worried about what happens with those. There's plenty of roots here to sustain it, I would think. And once it takes off, I intend to cut back a lot of the existing foliage, since it's already, you know, browning and whatnot. So I'll get some nice fresh growth and have a pretty nice looking houseplant. So I think that's pretty much it. It's not exactly rocket science. Incidentally, the pretty cool thing about this, I bought this pineapple on sale for $1. And it was a good tasting pineapple. It was actually a brand name one. I don't know if they made money on it or whatever, but there was people in the grocery store, they were buying like 20 of them. But, you know, what am I going to do with 20 pineapples? Sometimes I'll buy one and, you know, I have to throw away a few pieces at the end. So that's it. I think it's looking okay, and we'll see what the future is for this plant. So thanks for watching.